Hey everybody, excuse me, my throat's doing something. I'm checking in on this wonderful Thursday, this thankful Thursday, to say I'm thankful. And I'm thankful for a few things. It's spring equinox, which means about equal sun, equal day, equal night. So for example, in the East Coast, sun rose at 7:10 a.m. and was set at 7:21. So we have a little bit more than 12 hours, just by a few minutes. So I'm really thankful for all the light. I even went out during lunch in a course this week. So I went out during lunch, stepped in the grass. That felt really good. Saw a dandelion, took a picture of it. Why not, right? Today is also Ostara, which I'm not going to go into. And the sun enters Aries today, which I will talk about. And it's International Astrology Day. It's also my mom's birthday. And of course, happy birthday, Mom. I love you. You got some things on the way. I'm looking forward to our vacation in a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that. So, like I said, it is International Astrology Day, as well as today the sun went into Aries, which marks spring for the Northern Hemisphere, right? Which marks spring for the Northern Hemisphere. So my background, I am a trained certified astronumerologist. So I look at both astrology and I look at numerology. Hope that doesn't scare anyone, but if it does, that's fine. My background is what I was raised with was Protestant Christianity. And so a lot of what I look at deals with things that are even in the Old Testament. So for International Astrology Day, I want to talk about some of my favorite places that talk about astrology. So Psalms 19:1, the heavens declare the glory of God, right? And I even hear like glory to God in the highest, the heavenlies, all that kind of good stuff. Psalm 147:4 states, He telleth the number of the stars, He calleth them all by their name. So on this International Astrology Day, I am thankful that all the stars are called by their name. And finally, an example of the stars being called by their name is in Job 9:9. And it says to include the Bear, or Ursa Major, Orion, or the Hunter, and the Pleiades, or the Seven Sisters, right? I love that. I love reading about astrology. I love reading the history of astrology. I love reading about astrology in all different kinds of cultures, religions, and belief systems. I love to read it, right? I really do. So today, the sun went into Aries, which, like I said, for us in the Northern Hemisphere, that marks the beginning of spring. For many, it marks the beginning of the calendar. Hey, when it comes to astrology, it marks when on the astral wheel, which I also call a calendar, on the astral wheel or the sun wheel, that's when we are in the first house, for example. So the sun, I've told you all before, I like to talk about archetypes and what things mean, right? Almost like the psychology when it comes to astrology. That's really a lot of what I study. And so the sun is identity and your core drive. So whatever your sun is in, which most people know their sun sign, that will give a good glimpse into your core identity, your core drives, all that kind of stuff. There's no judgment. There's no bad. There's no good. It is what it is, right? And then the sun in Aries. Aries is all about independence, the god of war, right? Courage of convictions, new beginnings, all that kind of stuff. When it comes to new beginnings, what I want to share on this International Astrology Day is the first house and what that means. So there are 12 houses in astrology. They go around the astrological wheel. The first house is where the wheel begins. And so when people say right now in spring is the beginning of the year, well, in the astrological wheel, that is where things begin, right? If you want to know more about that, I can always teach a class. So the first house, which is a house that's led by Aries, Mars, all that kind of good stuff. It is the house of the self, appearance, body, the incarnation, self-image. It's the house of separateness, how we separate ourselves from others. It's the house of individuality, your physical characteristics. It is the house of your personal appearance, expectations, the environment. It is the house where identity is formed, as well as the reception of you upon your birth. I'm using multiple different books that I am pulling from. So one of these is the Astrology Bible. One of these, I said earlier, I said some Bible verses. That's the King James Bible. And then my astrology mentor, Kelly Beard, she's the one that really gives some good stuff on the actual words that go with each. So let me go back to that. So your identity, where your identities form and reception. So if you are into astrology on this great astrology day and you know what planets are in your first house, the first house of appearance, individuality, all that kind of stuff, here's an idea of how that may go into your own birth, okay? So like I said, it could also be the reception upon birth, and that's based on the Astrology Bible. So if Pluto is in your first house, Pluto is death, birth, rebirth. If Pluto is in your first house, that means your birth may have been life-threatening. It doesn't say to whom, to your mother or to you, unsure, right? So it'd be good to know, hey, is Pluto in your first house? If you have Uranus or Mars in your first house, then the birth could have been sudden, or you made a sudden appearance. I have Uranus in my first house, so I have to ask my mom about that. See, was I sudden? I would know I wasn't a surprise, but was I sudden? If you have Saturn in your first house, according to the Astrology Bible, and Judy Hall, she has long left us, then it could have been a long, slow, difficult birth, or a cold reception by the family, and that could have been due to either material or emotional impoverishedness, right? So those are some things to think about there. Like I said, I love the deep study of astrology, and I'm an astronumerologist. So the numerology part, my favorite, I have to add this, of course, my favorite verse for the numerology is Psalms 90:12, that states, teach us to number our days so that we may apply our hearts to wisdom. So like I said, today is the 20th. That's the first day of spring. So let's look at the number 20. So the number 20 is the awakening number, according to the ancient Chaldeans, right? It's a powerful awakening, new purpose, new goals. And that 0 in the 20 is divine protection. So I hope you feel protected today. Like I said, today is my mom's birthday. She walks around protected. She got that Psalm 91 on her. She walks around like that. So in numerology, what we do is we count all the number all the way across. So 3 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5. That's a 14. 1 plus 4 equals 5, right? And so that's two numbers we look at for today, as well as specifically for my mom and anyone whose birthday is today. That's also becomes your personal number of the year. In the astronumerology that I'm in, it changes on your birthday. So number 14 is the media number. Now, all of this comes from Tanya Gabrielle. That's who I'm certified under. So this part, these things that I'm sharing come from Tanya Gabrielle and the Ultimate Guide to Numerology. So number 14 is the media number. And that means that you can connect and share over any platform and have magnetic communications with the public, which could also mean you could attract things you don't want to attract, but you do want to attract the things that you want to attract. So make sure that this magnetic communication is exactly what you want anyone else to hear or be around. And then the day is a 5 equals a 5. I'm going to talk about that as a year number because, like I said, this is my mom's birthday, so this would be her number of the year. Number 5 is the middle of the line. So the middle of the line, meaning from 1 to 9 is where the astrology numbers go, and then you start back at 1. And so 5 is the middle of that line, that number line. And so 5 is a number of change. It's a number of pivots. You're able to look both ways, take that wisdom of the 1 through 4 leading up to the 5 and apply it to what you're going to do going forward with the 6, 7, 8, and 9, right? So you're able to make decisions. You're able to take risks. You're taking risks with wisdom, right? We're not taking dumb risks. We're taking risks with wisdom. So some things to think about: embrace change. Freedom is the key in this cycle. So if you're in a 5-year, freedom is key for you. be flexible, right? Be flexible. Movement equals abundance through quick, fast action. Now, like I said, not stupid action. Make sure you're doing this with some wisdom, right? Use some wisdom when you're making these decisions. Transform by taking risk. And then as I get ready to go, this is a quick one. I will leave you all with this. One of my other ancient numerologists, Helene Hitchcock, she has long since died as well. And she gives for a 5 personal year, which, like I said, my mom, you're just now entering a 5 personal year. And of course, I love you, so I'm going to share these things. A 5 personal year. This is what Helene Hitchcock, this book was written in the 70s, so that's the only thing I'll say about the language that's in the book. You will now feel a restlessness, which may lead you to make some definite changes. Like I said, 5 is all about change. Replacing the old with new ideas is good, but hastiness often causes future regret. So make sure, like I said, use some wisdom as you're making these decisions. Freedom is uppermost in your mind. This is a favorable year for traveling. Me and my mom, we're about to go on a trip, y'all. I'm not going to tell y'all when, where. You're just going to see pictures, okay? This is a favorable year for traveling, moving, or doing something different. All right, Mom, you got to do something different. Be sure to advertise your product, whatever your product is. This can be an exciting year filled with variety, change, and progress. So I want to say happy spring to everyone. I hope this spring is full of variety, change, and progress for all of you. And happy International Astrology Day. You all got to hear my loves of astrology and where I get those loves from. And yeah, happy first day of spring. Did I already say that? I probably said that a few times. It's Thankful Thursday, so tell someone you're thankful for them. And I am thankful for all of you that decided to watch this. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.